What's up, Ramblers? I know you want to get into today's podcast, but real quick, make sure you're keeping up by following Assistance HQ and Offsource HQ across all platforms, anywhere on all social medias, to keep up with all of the latest content, updates, exclusive, and everything else. And for business owners, visit offsource.tech for all of your office outsourcing needs, a virtual assistant for every occasion. All the links are in the bio, so go check them out right now. Now, here's your podcast. And now, a moment from our sponsor. Welcome back, Ramblers. I am so happy you're here. I'm here. I've missed you. I've been on a hiatus, but welcome back to our very first episode in almost 2 months. I hope you enjoy.
On Ramblers, welcome back to another wonderful episode of the podcast. I have a long-time friend with me, Rakeem Williams, investor, stock advisor, whatever you want to call it. This man is out here making moves as an entrepreneur, Black entrepreneur. What's going on? Introduce yourself, man.
Nice to meet you guys. My name is Rakeem, aka InvestLogic, the brand. I run a couple companies. One of my most recent businesses is I run a company called InvestLogic, where I teach minorities, especially, people from the trenches, people from where I come from, how to replace their jobs with the stock market, which sounds crazy, but it's very doable. I've been able to create pretty much 5,000, 10,000 week income on the stock market, just day trading, and running a group that has grown to over 50 members within the month to show them how to do similar statistics. I also run a company called The Brand, which is a household Connecticut streetwear clothing brand. And I'm working on a company called Vulture, which stands for Black Culture. And that's a clothing line that we're gonna unleash in about a month, and just kind of push that to the forefront. So we're just doing everything Black, everything, to push the minority growth and, just black magic.
I'm so glad to finally have you on the podcast. Always hyping up Black people, always hyping up Black entrepreneurship, Definitely. Black businesses. So they know, well, they don't know. So I know you as my longtime friend. Me and Rakeem go way back to Pop Warner football
days.
Pop Warner football days, man.
Yes, sir.
And so much has changed. Like literally, that's middle school, man. So I've known him. I remember going to high school and seeing Rakeem as like, oh snap, this is like one of the people that I know from like middle school, like those kinds of things. So
I
want to know like the story, man, because like a lot of people probably did not see this being like the trajectory of what you were doing. And I need to know, like,
definitely.
Let us know your story, man. How did you get into stocks and everything?
So a little background about me is I grew up in New Haven, Connecticut, like every Black kid. We thought that sports was my only way out. I went to a lot of different high schools, which I love that idea now because it introduced me to a lot of great people. As far as me growing up in stocks, my brother used to tell me a lot about stocks, but I was a person where you got to kind of show me, It's one thing for you to say, oh, this helps do this, but I wasn't really seeing the proof into the pudding. And so this is why I'm in Connecticut. I go through a little rough times. I actually, when I had my store in Connecticut, I had a store on Whaley.
I remember that.
What people don't know is it was a point where I didn't have a house. So I would sleep in the store, just in the back. And then in the morning, set everything up and have the whole city, which I love, support me and support the store. But nobody knew that was the only place I could sleep. Just because there wasn't a lot of help for me in Connecticut, or it just was a bad moment in my life. So I decided to move to Virginia, got a job at Home Depot. Shout out to Home Depot. And I met a kid named Noah. We call him Fish. And Noah, he white kid, of course, but we don't see color over there. He was a cool dude, and he was telling me about stocks too. So it was like, okay, my brother from the trenches telling me about stocks, and then Noah, another kid from a different world telling me about stocks. So Noah would miss work a lot. And I would ask him, I was like, bro, why are you missing work? He's like, because some days, bro, I make my money before I even come to work. So I just don't feel like coming to work. And of course, I didn't believe him because where we come from, we don't think that's possible. So, okay, he gets fired, but then we keep in touch because we real life friends. And while he's telling me, I've started trading but nothing seriously. You know, $10 a day, $20 a day. Those are great days for me because I'm just like, okay, I could buy lunch with this. And he pretty much teaches me, you know, the game. That's definitely my mentor. And one day, he was like, just be confident in your trades. And, you know, instead of putting this amount of money, try one time putting this amount of money. And I can't forget it. It was maybe June. No, it was April because it was near my birthday. And I invested $1,200 in a stock called Whiting Petroleum on Cash App.
$1,200?
Yeah, on a company called Whiting.
That's a big jump, man. Oh,
hey, listen, we just had to do it. You know, you just gotta do it. And then I went to sleep, and I woke up with $2,400. So in a nap, I made $1,200, and that for me, that shifted the culture. That shifted my mindset. That ever since then, I started taking it seriously. I started learning because I knew that everything that Noah was saying about how he made more money before he came to work, and how my brother was saying it, I knew now that it was true because it happened to me. So I was like, okay, it's game on now because I just made $1,200 a day. Where if I go to work, I'm not making $1,200 in a week or two. I'm not making $1,200 in 2 weeks. So I was like, and I'm doing it from home. This is the 8-hour span. This isn't even the 80 hours I would have to work to even get close to $1,200 working at a minimum wage job. In Virginia, minimum wage is $7.25.
Really? Okay, I want to do a quick sidebar. So when you moved to Virginia, what was your setup shop kind of plan? Like when you moved, like what was your game plan when you went from CT to Virginia?
I just wanted to reset. I knew I felt like when I was in CT, I really didn't have not a lot of help. In Virginia, I have family down here. Well, a different side of my mom's down here, my aunt's down here. So, you know, it's more family down here for me. So I knew even if I messed up, I would have like some type of safety blanket, but it was really a step where it was just like, okay, I gotta change something. You know, insanity is doing the same thing over and over and expecting different results. I just knew it was time to change something. So I got on the train, 8-hour train, went from Connecticut to VA without telling nobody. I don't think I had a job at that point. I think I just left the job and just came to VA. Wow. And I've been here for 3 years. And the first year, the plan was to, you know, just live a regular life, just work. I mean, build up my clothing lines. But, you know, that was a long goal. That's still a long goal. And I was really just planning to work and just keep grinding so I could save up my money and then put it into the brand. And obviously one thing turned into another. I found out stocks, and that kind of just catapulted me to a whole nother level financially, where stocks pay for everything I do. I see that.
Like one paydays is gonna pay for some stuff, man.
Yeah, and I don't even. The crazy part is I don't even buy stuff. So that's 1K days pay for coffee. For anybody that think I spend a lot of money on shit, like I don't buy shoes. Because it just changed my mentality on stuff. Like shoes are gonna devalue. Games are gonna devalue. You know me, I used to be a heavy gamer. I'm on a game right now, but I don't play games. Like I don't play the game no more.
I'm Xbox up, man.
I'm looking at the stock market on
like a year and some change.
Yeah. So it's worth it even when it was doing like 200 a day. Like that's still wild. 100,000 a year is 400. $100,000 a year is 400 is what $400 a day. If you're doing only day trades, if you're only doing 250 day trades in a year, that's $400 a day. We hitting 1,000 at least two times a week. It's just, and we're not flexing on Instagram. You never see me with cash. You like, because it's motivation. Because I tell people you always play the middleman. Because I make that much, but my friend Fish, who remember was working at Home Depot with me last year, is a millionaire at 21, doing the same thing.
Really?
I'm doing. He's a millionaire. He doubled his net worth in over a year during COVID. Now, I don't want people to take this the wrong way, but I love what COVID has done to the stock market, not to the world, but the stock market, because everything's cheap right now. It's a discount. Everything is cheap. You could have put money anywhere last year. You would have made thousands.
Oh, wow. So you almost kind of rolling in some dough right now. You really moving on that investor ladder.
We going. Once you get to a certain point, the money is easier. I think little baby said, I can't wait for y'all to get rich so y'all can understand it. If you got to get money so y'all can understand it. And then like a lot of people kind of took that wrong, but I think what he meant was what what he meant was just like, I can't wait for people to get money to be able to make money. Because what people fail to realize, or not fail to realize, but we, Black people, we just aren't in a financial opportunity to invest. Like, I know that's one thing. For example, a lot of people like to be like, oh, well, people should have invested in Bitcoin back in 2015. Black people didn't have money to invest $10,000 into Bitcoin 2015. So now it's worth millions. We didn't have that structure of how to, like, most people, their savings are 10,000. Like, most Black people only making 30, 50,000 a year. They're not able to just put up money in the stock market and let it sit because they got bills, they got kids, like their life is happening to them. I'm in a great situation where I don't have no kids. I didn't go to school. I didn't go to college. I don't have no college debt. I'm debt free. So already I'm at such a big advantage over a lot of people, because even if I don't make no more money for the rest of the year, people who are making money, they got debt to pay. They got 20,000 college loans. Like
right.
And that's net worth. For me, it's all about net worth. It don't even cash. I don't even carry cash no more. I don't carry cash, and pretty much the majority of my money is in some type of stocks. It's in some type of making money. Right now, money is making money.
Right.
We're in Bitcoin.
I want to break that down real quick, because I have that same exact kind of situation. I don't have any kids and I don't have any college debt. And that's like a very unique situation to be in, especially in 2021, especially as a Black man trying to make it. Like what has that burden that you don't have? How has that helped you in your come up?
Well, it's money. It's freedom to, to try to do things that, most people don't have the opportunity to do. I'm not knocking people who have kids. My sisters have kids. I love my nieces and my nephews. It just gives me an opportunity to go after whatever I want to go after. Because if I have kids, or if I have kids, I'm worrying about my kids. As a father, I got to make sure whatever I do doesn't affect them too much. But when it's just me, if I fall, I fall. I'm wise enough to acknowledge my wrongs. There's nobody else being harmed by my mistakes. So if I feel like taking a jump, I can take a jump. And I'm willing to deal with the sacrifices. Like, people say all the time, you gotta get broke a lot of times before you become wealthy, or before you get some money. And that's so true. There's so many times where I've had 10,000, 20,000 and lost it, but then built it back up.
What?
And then lost it, and then built it back up. And you just learn from that, because once again, from where we from, how crazy is it for you to see 20,000 in a month, or make 10,000 in a week? Like, you're just not used to that. You're just not used to that type of money.
Right.
Nothing in your life has trained you for that type of money. Like, imagine going from working where you're making $1,200 a week were you making $2,000 a month for what? 100 work after working 160 hours, to then going in the stock market, and you might bang out $2,000 a week in a week.
That's quadruple.
Exactly. It's pretty much like scaling. How they say you don't really scale your business if you're not prepared for it. I've had to learn how to deal with scaling my money when I've never had any type of mentorship on how to deal with that much money.
Okay, so that's key right there. Explain for other people that are going to or trying to go through that kind of situation. What's your advice that you're giving to people that are trying to, like, that haven't had that experience or don't know what it looks like? Their parents might only make $50,000 a year, and they're trying to, go out and do, $1,000, $2,000 weeks.
Well, it's first it's the mindset. A lot of stuff comes after fear. Like you said, when I put up 1,200, you was like, that's a lot of dough, and it is. But you got to think of it like any sport. How I look at it and how I justify how much money I put up is, like you said, we used to play football. Now, football is a dangerous sport. Any given tackle, you could lose your life. Any given head hit, you could get a concussion, lose your brain. So you got to think about it. We was, as kids, playing on the football field, risking our body for what? A touchdown? Ain't none of us in the NFL. We was risking our body for what? A touchdown, because we loved it, though. So for me, I'd rather be broke than be physically unhealthy. I'd rather be broke than be paralyzed or not have all my brain cells because of hit. So if I sacrifice my body for football, that gave me nothing. I can sacrifice money for certain things. And as far as scaling, it's all a mindset. Stocks is 50% mindset, and you got to continue to act differently, act like the rich. It's so serious. The blueprint is really given to us. We just don't have no discipline. There's an easy concept that I used to trade stocks with, which is called the 10% blueprint. It's in one of my books, where we pretty much just tell people in 10 days, even if you don't want to double it in days, because sometimes we double our money in days. Even if you don't want to double it in a day, you got 10 days. With any amount of money, you can double it in 10 days off the 10% rule, which basically means if we're investing, and let's use small numbers for the people, we're investing $200 in 10 days. With the 10% blueprint, you can make $200 back in 10 days tops. Because each day in the stock market, you're only going for 10% profit, which is easy. You can do that in your sleep. So the first day, that's $220. You just made $20. Now the second day, another $22, because actually now you're investing $222. So far, so on. In 10 days, now you have $400. Now in another 10 days, you have $800. Now in another 10 days, you have $1,600. So in 30 days in a month, you just took $200 and turned it into $1,600. Now imagine what people are doing with that same blueprint with $1,000 or $10,000.
Right.
And like, there's people in my chat that make way more money than me, because obviously they just have more money than me. But the knowledge is, so when I'm doing where I'm making, I could do 5,000, 10,000 a week. Somebody who got 100,000 in their bank, imagine. So when I say people really making 50,000 a week, 60,000 a week off the information and just the knowledge we have, because it's simple blueprints. If you put up 100,000 and you make 10% in a day, you just made 10,000.
Right. Yeah. Your numbers, your percentage numbers are going to look a lot.
That's the key. It's all about the percentage. Exactly. And like I said, we just don't have the ability to do it. So save your money. You got to be okay with not caring about what other people are saying, not trying to compete with other people. When you're trying to compete with other people, you kind of it's like a race. If you look at the other person, you're going to lose speed. It's all about you. Do what you want to do. Don't really care about what other people want to do. I'd say all the time, in a casket, there's only one spot in the casket. There ain't no room for your mom, even though you got to love your mom, you got to love your parents. There's no room for none of that. I had a deep conversation with my mom where we talked about how parents push college, once again, because I'm not a school person, how parents push college on kids so often, but they never realize that, okay, you're pushing college on me, but then when I got $20,000 of college debt, you're not paying that off. But I only went to college because you told me to go to college and I want to make you happy. But now I'm dealing with $20,000 debt and working at a minimum wage job, and you're not helping me pay this $20,000. So you just set me up to be in debt $20,000, which now I have to work all my life, and taxes already coming out of that. So you not to say parents kind of set us up, but you just kind of set us up for the rat race.
Yeah, that it's a big loop. So you say you don't buy a lot of things, right? You make that transition. A lot of people are always looking at like what it is that people have, right? So how has your lifestyle, if at all, kind of, if anything, changed as you do like these $5,000-$10,000 weeks?
It hasn't. I mean, for me, from when I moved to Virginia, like I said, I've been through a lot. Like people see me and just don't understand all the bullshit I went through. So honestly, for me, it was like, I don't have no kids yet, but like I said, I love my nieces and my nephews. I wanted to make sure that they didn't have to do anything that I did. They didn't have to go through any of the miscomfort. I got tired of surviving. We're born and we don't live. We survive. We live. I made $26,000 last year in my at my job. Right? No, not last year. The year before last year. And at the end of the year, I had $0. $0 after making $26,000, because I was living check to check. I was buying shit that I don't have today. I was spending money where I didn't need to spend money. And a lot of people live like that. A lot of people live check to check. So for me, my life doesn't change because none of this was for me. I didn't start doing stocks to make my life better. Of course, to make my life better, but I have a stock account for my nephew. My nephew is what, 8, 10, maybe? I don't know the age, but I have stock accounts for my nephews and my nieces. So when they get to a certain age, I can give them a head start. Yes, their parents will do the same, but I just want to give them something that I didn't have. Nobody gave me. I wasn't in a position where somebody could have gave me 20,000 and was like, here, you know, if you don't want to go to school, take a year off. Here's 20,000. If you want to start a business at 16, here's 5,000. Let me invest in you. So you don't got to feel like you got to go work or you got to. And everybody's not gifted that opportunity. So everything I do is for that. I'm thinking so far ahead in the future. I'm the type of person where I'm gonna think all day. I'm gonna think on how to make money, how to make residual, how to do something. The crazy part is, and I do stocks. I love how much I trade because I'm actually some type of trader. I don't want people to get confused, but my residual on stock market, I make about $3,000 a month just from teaching stocks.
Really?
Just from
teaching.
Just from teaching, not even trading. Now I love to trade, so I trade. There's no day where I don't trade, unless it's just a bad market day and we're just sitting it out. But if I wanted to, my residual is making me my work salary, my work job. That's 30,000 a year, 36,000 a year.
That's crazy. Okay,
it's
so
only.
What's the point that you quit your job? So when you were, doing both, and I remember you got a security job. Mm-hmm. What was the moment that you were like, I'm done?
I used to hate work so much, and I'm not lazy. I want people to understand that. I've worked warehouse jobs, 12-hour shifts, freezer shifts. I worked demolition jobs in the sun for 12 hours, cutting down trees. I'm not a lazy person. I'm very hardworking, and you got to be hardworking to do stocks. It was just one point where I was just literally feeling sick going to work. I would stay up because I would dread going to sleep, knowing that I had to go work tomorrow. Because I'm an entrepreneur, even before the stocks, I had the brand. Like, it was never my goal to work.
Right.
And I felt like I was always racing the clock. Like, another day working a job, 8 hours here. Like, you know what I could do 8 hours of just thinking versus 8 hours of working a job where first of all, they're taxing me like a motherfucker. And they're investing your money while you're at a job, and everything you do for them, they don't care. At Home Depot, you know how much money I've sold in paint versus the amount of a can of paint is $40.
Mm-hmm.
We're making 30, 50 cans of paint a day. So I'm making the company a couple thousand a day, and I'm only getting paid $80. If that, to work a whole day, for them to take off my whole day, and then I'm going to sleep the other day. You're sleeping 33% of your life. You're working 33% of your life. You only have 33% of your life to live. And if you're living a normal life, no offense, you're living to survive. You're not even living. You're living that last 33% check to check.
Right.
So it's just like, once I really started to feel sick going to work, I quit. And like I said, it goes back to being able to have that freedom of no debt, no kids. I didn't have to worry about, well, I need money to, pay for the kids stuff. Like, and it's nothing but respect for people who do that, because you got to sacrifice for your kids. But I left with 2,000.
You only had two G's.
I only had 2 G's, and I quit.
Hey, that's worth it, bro.
Because I'm a worker. I know I've been broke before, so I don't like going to for me, it was a risk. Like, I feel like we're already at the bottom. What are we scared to lose? If I climb, I
can go get another Home Depot real quick.
Yeah, I can go. If anything, I could just go get another job. But I can't miss it. I can't get this opportunity again. You're not gonna get too many opportunities to change your life. And now that it made it, you look back and it's like, yeah, $2,000 changed your life. But just having the courage to do it. People tell me all the time when I try to get them into stocks, or I talk to them about stocks, one thing they say is they're scared or they're nervous. And I tell people, fear is before every accomplishment. If you think about it, every big accomplishment in your life was once blocked by fear. When you rode your first bike, you were scared. When you drove your first car, you were scared. when you went on your first date, when you had your first football play, when you took your first steps, when you had your first kiss, your big first important purchase, your first test, fear blocked everything until you was just like, okay, we got to do this. Now, most of those things you was forced to do, so we've never really chosen to deal with fear. Because you got to ride your bike, you got to drive your car. Even if you're scared to take a test, you got to take the fucking test. Like,
right.
Most things we deal with fear, we're forced into it. So we've never really made the decision to deal with fear on our own. And those usually are the gatekeepers to happiness, to success. Like, you just,
bro, you're dropping gems right now. Like, I'm so glad I got you on the podcast, man. All right. So you talked about like doing the brand and everything before you were doing like stock trading, right? And I remember when you had the store back on Whaley and everything. I remember all that. So I want to know, like, what's the story of the brand? Because that's like the first entrepreneur thing I seen you do and everything.
Yeah,
so,
definitely.
Like, what's the story of the creation of the brand? Is that a brand hoodie?
Now I'm gonna show you. This is a Vulture hoodie.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, indeed. See?
Oh, that's Vulture. Fire.
Vulture stands for Black Unity, Love, Truth, Uniformity, Recreation, and Expectations.
Let me get one of those.
So you got that's Vulture. We're working on that. So the brand, my personal Instagram account is called The Documentary. The Documentary stands for a story, right? And the brand is pretty much that too. It's just a story. I wanted to find a way where I could make money and do something I love. So I'm an artist, so I draw a lot. Well, I used to draw a lot, and I used to draw designs for a couple clothing lines that's in Connecticut. And one day I was just like, why not, draw my own designs? I've done it for a lot of these big companies, regardless. So I might as well, use my own creativity to do it. And it was such an amazing story because we started from $25 hoodies to now we could sell a $60 hoodie and sell out in a week. So it was just a coalition of my creativity and, ambition. It was just another idea. For me, I spit out a lot of ideas every day and I just try to get them done. Like the podcast, it's just an idea. And I'm just the type of person now where I don't think too much on failure. It's just, let's go get it. Let's go buy the equipment. So I got to use it. So I got to try it. And I was the same thing with the clothes. It's like, if I fail, I fail, but let's do it. Let's put the work together. I know people. I know how to sell things. So it's like, why not? Why not start the brand? Why not give people a genuine clothing line where it's like, it's not too expensive, it's comfortable, and it's for the people. I did a lot of stuff that people have never done in their life. I'm 23. When I was 21, I owned a store.
Right. Yeah.
I like not know, and that's how I don't want to be cocky because I'm humble, but at certain points you gotta understand what we've done. I owned a brick and mortar clothing store by myself and my partner Donnie. Shout out to Donnie. And now that goes back to just having people around you that motivate you, and that it's never a big idea. It's never a small idea. Some people are like, oh yeah, you can't do this. Give me 1 second. I apologize. This is the phone.
Okay, we're back from our quick mid-roll. Sorry about that. I want to get into a quick topic switch real quick, right? So we talked about, your lifestyle not really changing, you're not buying much and everything. But every single entrepreneur has like a little thing that they don't mind spending their money on. For me, I will buy anything that I can get to go into it. If it's for an office, I love things that go in an office. Like I got a new desk, I got an iPhone just to do videos. Like I found a way to connect it to my laptop because the webcam is trash.
Assets.
Microphone. Like it's not I can't even really say it's like the best assets, but like I just like having things in like an office. Like I love getting office stuff. Like I'm probably about to get like a dartboard just to toss like put up a bunch of ideas, put a bunch of ideas like on a board and like throw darts. Like, okay, today I'm gonna talk about this and just like stuff for the office. So every entrepreneur has a little thing they kind of like to spend on. You like art?
I buy art. I told you I'm an artist, so I just like buying art,
That's dope. Now put that in the camera in the full again. Where'd you get that?
I got a friend who do canvases. So what I do is I could send him any picture and he just make it into a canvas for me. Black owned. I got it. I'll send you the Instagram. I forgot what Instagram is because I know him personally, but I just shoot him anything I like. And and from my clothing line design. So this is a cause creation. He's like he's the originator of the cause. You know, you ever seen the Mickey Mouse with the X eyes?
Yeah.
That's him. So this was, just an inspirational piece so I could look at and just, it pretty much connects everything I love, the art. And then it's one of my clothing line mentors. And then I have another one, a smaller one. And this is from one of my TH3 collections. Where it's the 3 for Trinity. And then you got Jesus in it. And then of course my signature. And I just buy stuff like that.
That's fire. That's
a coffee. I've had everything. I spent money on. I've never been a materialistic person. Games, that's cool, but I really don't have too much time to play games. Shoes, I'm a ghost, first of all. So everything that I need to make money is in my house. It's in my house. My monitors, my clothing machines, my phone to make stocks. So
you got
there's no reason for me to. There's stocks buy assets. Like that's what I'm saying. Like, so now whenever I make clothes, everything is in house. Meaning I'm not splitting my profits with nobody, which means more money. Yeah, a little bit more work, but that's what we in it for.
Right.
So I'm just not buying anything. And the crazy thing outside of okay, so I bought a rug. I like rugs too. I bought a rug that says respect the investor. It's just like different stuff, just like you could just stuff that you could just spend the money on. And for me, it's this 15-year-old kid called Tugs Rugs. And he created custom rugs. So he's 15 doing this, making money. So I just wanted to support him and just buy the rug. He told me the price. I was like, I don't even care what the price is. Just can you make this rug? He was like, he could make this rug, and I was just like, let's get it. Send it to me. Because I know how that feels to tell somebody the price, and they'd be like, I don't got it right now. So for me, it being the financial ability to really look at stuff where I don't got to look at the price tags. It's just like, buy it because I'm supporting you. And I know I'm not doing it on no funny shit for you to support me back, but it's just always because I wish somebody would have did that for me. I wish I could have said, yeah, $100 for a hoodie. And somebody was just like, yeah, fuck it, give me like $5. Like,
right. Yeah, that was, bro. Oh
I just try to be everything that I wish I had, I invest in my sister's companies. My sisters want to sell here. How can I help? How can I send you money to make it easier? Promotions, billboards. I did a billboard in Virginia my first year here. Not no small billboard, a billboard on the highway at 22. Like it's like the mindset is just different. And yeah, so we don't buy much. I buy stuff for my family. I'm cool. I'm at peace. That's one of the huge things for anything you want to do. If you want to do it in your own business, you got to find peace in yourself. Peace is being able to live life happy and okay with every decision you make. Once you gain that, I feel like it opens up so many doors because you're not thinking of anybody else besides yourself. And that's not selfish. That's just, it's definitely not selfish because I don't have responsibility for anybody else. Right. So it's just like putting yourself in the best situation and being able to sleep with it at night, Business is business. It's not always nice. It's not always friendly. But for me, of course, coming from a Christian background, we have morals. So we're never really doing anything where we can't sleep at night. So I have peace. That's 2 things that I pray for. Peace and opportunity. Those are the only things I pray for. Peace and opportunity. If God can give me peace and opportunity, I can handle the rest. If you give me the opportunity to make 1,000 a day, I'm gonna be prepared to go make it happen. That's it,
bro. I love the hustle. This I don't even know. I think I'm gonna call this episode the hustle, the daily hustle. The hustle daily, the daily hustle, something with hustle or grind or whatever, man. Because I love it, man. So you were talking. I want to go back to a real big point you made, especially because my co-founder, he played professional track, and he has experience with doing like college sports and everything. And you were talking about sacrificing your body for a certain amount of money, and how you didn't think that was going to be for you. Like you could end up at any one hit because you're playing football. Any one hit could have ended your career or anything like that. So like where did you have that mindset or that shift in what you were thinking to think, long term, I don't want to make money beating my body up. I want to make money, like using my mind or something.
Well, I don't want to say unfortunately, but it was after, my mind changed when I got into the stocks. So my mind changed when I got into entrepreneurship, but it really changed when I got into stocks because it's a whole nother level of understanding how the world works. How Dunkin' Donuts says the world runs on Dunkin'? The world, and I could put any amount of money on this, the world runs on stocks. Every decision, every billionaire, every news article is revolved around stocks. If Elon Musk says something about Tesla stock will either go up or go down. If Dunkin' Donuts gets sued, Dunkin' Donuts stocks are affected. COVID, a global disaster. People don't understand the recessions were where the most millionaires were made. So for understanding my body, it didn't come to realize that I was risking my body every day until I realized, what am I scared of? I'm scared of losing money, but I wasn't scared of losing my body. So it wasn't until I was into stocks where I realized how much I was really already sacrificing. I've already sacrificed more than being broke. I could have been paralyzed any given hit. But I wasn't thinking about that. I wasn't scared of that. Or I faced that fear. For people that's looking like, and again, it goes back to facing fear. People who thinking about going into football, one of their only issues of not going into football is probably because they're scared. It's their fear. But once you get hit, once you get hit, once you get adjusted to it, once you get used to it, it's no longer fear. It's just a part of your everyday life. There's days where I lose hundreds of dollars, but it's just my everyday life. I'm not fearful of it because it happens. That's just part of the game. But we learn how to deal with it, and we learn how to come out on the other side green. And that's just the mentality to have with it. Like I said, we all thought we were going to be some type of professional athlete, only because that's the only thing we were shown. Either you was a drug dealer, or you was an athlete, or you was a rapper. That's it. We didn't have no other. So I never even get upset with people when they don't understand it. But that's just the only thing we were taught. Nobody was teaching us real estate. Nobody was teaching us stocks. Nobody was teaching us investments or crypto, Bitcoin. It just wasn't. And we can't even blame the people that were supposed to teach us because nobody taught them. And that's why what I do is so important. I make money, but for me, my day is made when other people make money, even when it's small. I've had a dude make $100 yesterday. It was his first $100 in a day. But it's amazing because now I've shown him. I've sparked that mental change in his head for him now to go show his kids or show his family. So now everybody is learning. Everybody is getting that mental shift where it's like, okay, just giving people more options. It's like, okay, I don't have to go sell drugs. I don't have to, make music. If I don't want to risk my body on football, and like, I love football, but I don't have to play football because the millionaires in stocks are making more money than the millionaires in football.
Patrick Mahomes signed 450 over 10 years.
But listen, what do you think the guy that signs his check does? You don't think he do stocks?
That's
okay, what I'm saying.
Okay,
that's
right,
what I'm saying.
Yeah.
There's billionaires in here. That's list. And people got a little taste of it. GameStop. Listen, that's the one thing about the GameStop and the AMC Reddit attack on Robinhood was people saw that I was real. They saw that you could make 20,000 that fast.
Right.
And that was great for us because it's like, okay, now y'all believe me. Now when I say I made this much, y'all don't think I'm lying because you just seen half of your Instagram fans do the same thing. They just did it off of luck. We could do this every week.
So did you okay, we got to ask now because everyone knowing that you're in stocks and everything's going to want to know now. Did you get AMC, GME, or any of the above?
No, I didn't do GME. I actually hate how it's affecting the stock market. Let me see what I did. I bought AMC but I had AMC at $2. So, and this is where it's kind of messed up. So people invest in companies they want. Like I invested in AMC at $2 because that was such a low price for it. That was a long-term play for me. I didn't know that they were gonna go on Reddit when it hit $6 and run it up. I was just already invested in AMC. Same thing with Dogecoin. I was in Dogecoin before it was a cent. Dogecoin's now 8 cents. So because they're running it up, I'm supposed to leave it? No, I'm gonna take advantage of that, but I wasn't the type where I was hopping on. Like I literally watched GameStop go from $20 to $500, and I didn't put no money into it.
Why?
Because I knew the inevitable. It would drop. And it's not. That's the discipline part about it. The goal is obviously what people want, their dream is to get rich quick. How do you think I was going broke when I had 20,000 or 30,000? I was trying to get rich quick. I could make $200 a day, and that's $1,000 a week. I'm cool with that. I don't need to make 50,000 in one day. That's cool, but what am I? First of all, that's really scaling. That don't even, like that's cool to have. But okay, now you got taxes. You know how to pay taxes on 50,000?
Oh my God! I wish I need to get like a. See, man, this is where
you know what I'm saying?
Like, soundboard for when I do audios, man. For like these kinds of situations, I need to press a bomb.
Yeah. Hold on. Let me go get my coffee. I apologize. I gotta go get this real quick. See, coffee. Another thing I spend my money on.
We're back from our other mid-roll, and I just actually had the opportunity to ask Rakeem. He's on track to make 6 figures right now, and still lives with his mom and is developing a business relationship. Can you expand more on that? Because I really think a lot more people like us, a lot more Black people should start family businesses. Just keep some type of entrepreneurship in the family.
So yeah, definitely. Like I said, it's all about what we're surrounded by, who we're the average of who we talk to, and a lot of people with their parents, they don't really have a business relationship. Another thing that changed my mentality was instead of seeing these apartments in Connecticut, coming from the hood, my mom does real estate, so I'm able to see $1 million houses. I've been in a house where they had an elevator inside the house. That just shifts your mindset because you see it. It becomes realistic. It becomes something that's attainable. And of course, her mindset is, entrepreneur mindset, because the real estate game is hard, and just understanding finances, literacy, how to save money, stuff like that. And then for making $100K and still living here, or it goes back to not caring what people want to say. Who do I have to impress? What do I have to prove? And they say most of the time, people with the least amount of money are the ones that are flexing it. Once again, you've never seen me flex cash. Why do I need to buy more homes if I could live with my mom and pay way less?
Yo, I am loving the mindset that you have right now, man. Like it's bringing. So I know you got time and everything. So before we have to get you out of here and everything, we always like to leave on like a positive note. And so we like to have the question: if you had to leave one piece of advice, for the stock traders, for the entrepreneurs that are coming up, especially the Black entrepreneurs that are coming up, it doesn't have to be like the best piece or like, the number one, but if you were to drop one tip right now, what would be that tip?
If I'm speaking to the Black people on stocks and entrepreneurship, I would tell them, don't be afraid to lose. Just risk it, because once again, we're at the bottom. We're already there, What do we really have to lose? If you quit your job, you can go get another job. If you don't want to go to school now, you want to drop out of school now. If you want to drop out of school now, you can always go back to school. School's not going anywhere. Chase your dreams, because that's what pays for the future. That's what's gonna leave your legacy. Even with no money, it's all about legacy. I can die broke, and I know at my funeral, 1, it's going to be packed, and 2, it's going to be nothing but good words and talking about how I helped generations and how I did that. So do something you love and chase your dreams. that's my positive note for just the entrepreneurs that's gonna come behind me. And I hope you guys succeed. I hope you win. I hope you do everything that you aspire to do, because that's the type of people you want to be around. Be around people that's gonna boost you up. Go around people that's gonna help you. How do we do this? Not, bro, I don't know if it's possible. Let's do this. Let's set up plans, set goals, and achieve them. Goals is important. Aim for the stars, land on the moon. Aim for the moon, land on the stars, whatever. Just go crazy. We're young. We're not meant to survive. That's what animals are for. Animals are meant to survive. We should not be surviving. You got to live.
Yo, I say this a lot, but every podcast episode, we have such amazing people, and you have brought so much amazing value. Thank you so much for coming, Rakeem. We absolutely love everything that you brought today.
Appreciate you guys.
What's up, Ramblers? Before we start, make sure you hit that subscribe button for this daily podcast to never miss an episode. And follow us on YouTube at Assistance HQ for all the latest content and behind the scenes on the Ramblings. It's a whole lot of assistance going on.